I had a one-on-one call yesterday where I spoke to an absolutely incredible woman who's really got a lot to give to the world. She's got a lot of passion. She's got a big heart. She's got people that she really wants to help. But the problem for her at the moment is that she's currently not getting the results that she wants really in life. You know, she's stuck working a job that she's not really happy in. She's doing things, she has to do things with her time that she doesn't want to do because her boss says that's what she has to do. And she really doesn't get much time to get in that space where she's able to express creativity and to put that passion that she has into something that she really cares about, to ultimately make the world a better place and to help the people in the world. That's what she wants to do. So I want to share a little story with you about what we talked about on the call that's kind of keeping her stuck and holding her back from literally becoming like this awesome, fully expressed version of herself. Because I think a lot of people in life, maybe yourself watching this video, a lot of people know that they are worth more, know that they have the potential to be more, know that they have much more to give and they can make the world a better place. They know that that's there inside them, but for some reason or another, they're just not living that life at the moment. They haven't created that reality. And something in this lady that I was speaking to came out during the conversation, which is absolutely one of the biggest things that will stop people in their tracks. And that was herself. And it's the same for all of us. Because here's the thing. The fears that we have, the limitations that we have, the things that we don't believe that we're capable of in our hearts, we don't truly know with every ounce of our being that we're capable of it. We sell ourselves short. All of these things about what we think we can or can't do are created because of how we perceive our past experiences. So all of the events that have happened throughout our lives have shaped us into having the set of beliefs that we have about who we are and what we can do and what we deserve and what we can earn and what business we can launch and all this kind of stuff, right? It's all about our past experiences and how we perceive those past experiences. And I asked her during the call, I said, hey, if you had a magic lamp with a genie, right, and you had 3 wishes, what 3 things would you wish for? And the number one thing that she said was that she'd wish for self-confidence. And the reason this is so powerful, I think, is that for all of us, self-confidence and self-belief, we all to a certain extent put limitations on ourselves based on our past, based on our self-identity, based on what we see we're capable of and who we see that we are. If I said to you, you know, go and start a business tomorrow that's going to scale to $1 billion in the next 3 years, you know, many of us, me included, by the way, many of us would have stories about why that's not possible for us and why we can't do that. It's way outside of our scope of what we're capable of, right? And so wanting self-confidence, one of the things that I find fascinating about this is that we already have everything within us to do what we want to do, right? We know what we want. We know what we want to achieve. We even mostly know how to do it. Everybody knows how to get 6-pack abs. Everybody knows how to get in great shape. But very few of us actually do it. And so this idea of self-confidence is that even though we know what we want, and even though we know why it's important to us, and even though we might be taking the steps down that path, lack of self-confidence means that we will pull up a story from our past about why we can't do it, and then self-sabotage. And so to give you an example, this lady who I was speaking to, we talked about after the call, the call recording, whether she'd be open to sharing this within my private members community, my entrepreneurial Facebook group. After the call, she said, yes, she'd be open to sharing it because I truly believe that this perspective would help a lot of people. Like, we really deep dived into how to recognize it's happening, how to find the awareness within yourself to start seeing these patterns, and then finally how to actually do something about it and change, how to get out your own way so that you can move forwards and achieve your goals. You know, we talked about all of that during this call. She said, yes, she'd be open to sharing it. Now, this morning, she messaged me, and this is very interesting, and I can completely understand where this is coming from. She messaged me saying she was hesitant to have it going out there because obviously what we talked about on the call, a lot of it was very close to her heart, very personal to her, and you know what she feels is holding her back, and so on and so forth. And she didn't really want to put it out there. And one of the things that I immediately realised, and that I think she immediately realised as well, is that this is exactly the same pattern that's been holding her back again, right? She's repeating the same pattern. So she wants self-confidence. Self-confidence isn't a thing outside of yourself. Self-confidence is actually, at the core of it, self-confidence is just getting out your own way. Self-confidence is letting go of any reasons that you can't and just doing the thing that you need to do to make it happen. Self-confidence is just not letting a story of the past define you and instead going, I want that, I'm going to get that. End of. That's it. That's self-confidence, no story. And so the pattern for her, and ironically for every single one of us, is that we'll be on the path towards what we want, which for her was self-confidence. She's going to put herself out there in public, facing, you know, these fears, these demons for the first time, owning that, which by default means that the story's going to stop controlling her because she's put it out there, and now her ego, the mind, like the little voice in the head, has to let go of the attachment of guarding that story, right? And guarding that part of herself. When it's out there and she's bearing her soul to the world, it starts to lose its hold over her, which funnily enough means she's going to start to build self-confidence. But because she believes that she lacks self-confidence, she's on the verge of putting it out there. She's on the verge of becoming a different person. And then the fear comes up inside her, that familiar pattern. We all know it. We're on the verge of doing something that we want to do, and the fear kicks in because we're going to do something outside of our comfort zone. And we will actively go in and sabotage the thing from happening because of the fear. And we keep ourselves trapped because the past has defined us. And so for her, and for all of us, all she needed to do was nothing. All she needed to do was let go and just let what will be unravel and happen and put herself out there. But the self-confidence thing means she jumps in and she stops the process happening. She actively stops the process happening, and the pattern keeps her stuck. And so we're currently having this conversation at the moment, and it's a fear that, you know, may take time to overcome. For some of us, we're able to move through that straight away. We recognize the fear and we go, you know what? I'm feeling it. I'm going to feel the fear. And the confidence within myself is to go ahead and do it anyway. For some of us, it takes more time to own that. Okay? And so each of us, if we know what we want, we know where we want to get to, it's having the awareness to recognize when we are actively stopping ourselves from achieving the result. Because a pattern of the past has caused that feeling of resistance, of fear, where we kind of want to, you know, we want to sort of crawl under a rug or crawl up inside ourselves because we don't like want to face the feeling of discomfort. We don't want to put ourselves out there. We don't want to, you know, do whatever it is that we're trying to do because it feels uncomfortable. And what we'll naturally do is we'll shrink away from it subconsciously. And what we need to make the decision to do, whenever that pattern happens, we need to actively decide we're not going to shrink away from it. We're going to move towards it, because everything that you want is on the other side of fear. Period. Right? So if there's something you want, you feel the pattern, you feel the feeling, that is your trigger to recognize, that's where I need to head to if I want to become the person who I want to be. Because if you were already capable of becoming the person who you want to be, then you'd already be doing it. got to push those comfort zones. We've got to let go of who we are. We've got to let go of the stories of our past and be willing to get uncomfortable in order to step into becoming a new person. Right? Hope this helps. I'll speak to you in another video.